Good morning. I'm forecaster Jimmy O'Neill from the KMET Weather Center for the Beaumont in the Banning area. As we go through the daytime hours, mostly sunny skies are in abundance. Highs are in the 80s. The afternoon hours in the IE brings us mostly sunny skies, highs upper 80s. And for the daytime of the Coachella Valley, sunshine highs in the 90s. I'm forecaster Jimmy O'Neill for Smart Talk 1490 KMET.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. We are happy to have each and every one of you. A lot of things happening. And I will say this. I'm glad to be back after a long 2-day interview. We had interviews. I kid you not. I know we have an hour show here. But I think, Jess, if we had to, you and I could totally rock it like for a good 8 hours. Especially if it were like a game thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, yes. Get me into a topic that I can talk about, and I will probably chat your ear off, so I can totally see that.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that happened at the La Femme Film Festival. We're going to show some of the clips throughout the week, and you can check it out as well. It's a great festival, I will say. I met a lot of people that are doing some pretty cool stuff, including animating, including, like, short film, including a lot of student film that actually are all part of the festival this year, which actually look like real feature-length film. And you go, well, why do they spend so much time on just a short if it's only like anywhere from 8 to, maybe 30 minutes? I think the longest one is 30 minutes, which actually is a good one to watch anyway. But you go, okay, 8 minutes, I don't know. And I say, well, it's a good proof of something. Sometimes it's like a way of someone saying, oh, hey, here's my ability to direct. Here's my ability to, maybe act. It's a good, like, if somebody wants to ask, for a demo reel or they want to see what you do, then you could send something like that, which is good to be a part of, especially if it's student film. But I'll say some of this stuff looks really good, and I highly recommend that you go get it. All you have to do is type in lafemme.eventive.org/films, and then you go there. I'll have the link on my Facebook, on my Twitter, even on my Instagram. You'll see it there, and LinkedIn. Just follow me, Aaron M. Sanchez. But a lot of really great stuff, a lot of creators, a lot of creating, and a lot of just, things that I say good to look forward to, especially in this weird world that we live in. Because, Jess, I don't know if you saw this, but there was a huge explosion on a bridge that a lot of people are going, huh, what? Because I talked to some people last week, and I think the week before, and I said, Russia's a big thing. We know about Ukraine, but what if it goes like nuke? And then last week, Biden said Armageddon. He used that word. Then he used nuke as all in like a big speech. And that's been kind of a thing for the last few days. And then we see this. And then at the top of the day, and I'm not going to lie, Jess, it almost feels like, we always see movies about it. There's a good movie, by the way, coming out, which looks kind of like Mission Impossible, but it's not, with a bunch of like airmen set, I think, in World War II. And it looks good. It's called, what's it called? There's a lot of trailers out that I missed, Jess. And I'm like, okay, need to see that, need to see that, need to see that, need to see that. Including Mission Impossible, the next one. So that looks good. But there's a lot of problems happening right now in Russia. And the reason, well, maybe you could say what you saw over the weekend, Jess, when it comes to the explosion, because I don't think I can give it justice.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I didn't even realize what I was watching or what was happening because I was just watching this video. I watch a lot of videos. So, yeah, there was this cars going back and forth along this bridge, and I'm like, what am I supposed to be waiting for? And then, boom, all of a sudden, there's this huge explosion and fire everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm just all like, whoa, okay. This is not good. It's just going to be a huge headache. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, so this is the way Russia says, fine, you want to do that? Because they're blaming the Ukrainians already for that. Which look, I get it. You blow up a bridge like that, it's bad, okay? It's like somebody, I don't even know what's equivalent here, Jess. What we would be like, okay, now it's serious, right? Because if you blow up a bridge here like that, And like I think there's another bridge too where there's like uh, like a well, they say, and I believe it. This is where they were transporting a lot of like weapons, right? So it was definitely so. I think if anybody did a call for that, I think it was a call to be like, okay, we're gonna get those weapons no longer transported because that's how they're getting like stuff back and forth. So, but there's a lot of investigation on it. Putin actually ordered a investigation on this. But in the meantime, according to this statement here, breaking news: explosions rocked in Kiev, Lviv, and Kharkiv, and other cities today. Putin orders attacks across Ukraine. According to one, he says Russians are hunting for us inside Ukraine's drone unit. And then this one, Biden's Armageddon's warning reflects stakes with Russia. Although Kirby is saying it's not a looming threat, which I say it is because everyone is using a missile right now. North Korea sent a second missile over Japan, Jess. I'm like, are you guys like, what's going on here? Did you get coronavirus in the mind? Like, what part of that makes sense? Like, a lot of people are going to die if you continue this. You know what I mean?
Right? I mean, me and Casey had that thought too. It's just like, what's the point of all this fighting? It's just like you want something, and everyone's all like, you can't have it. No, I want it.
Yeah.
Or else, do what I say, or else I'm gonna launch these giant missiles that are yeah. So it's a headache. Oh my god.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just one of those things where I know. We'll probably see some information coming up in the week. We're already kind of looking at some stuff and talking to some people behind the scenes trying to get information on this. And I'll say this, it's not good, okay? It's not good. I think people underestimate Russia and forget it's a world power. That's number one. Number two, they have over 7,000 nukes or nuclear warheads. We talked about them disarming them back in the 80s, and I guess they did some, not all, obviously. There's a big push towards that. We're back to, as Biden put, and if you don't know the history, I think it's important to go ahead and check out. It's a documentary. It's called Kennedy, about the Cuban Missile Crisis. If you don't want to read history, and I'm not gonna lie, growing up I hated history. I was like, what point does it have? But it's almost like a repeat of our last century, Jess. Of 100 years. Someone brought it up actually at the film festival, speaking of which, and they said, remember the riots of, I think it was 92. Their film is called 1992. And I'm like, what riots are you talking about? Do you remember, Jess?
Are you talking about the riots in Watts?
Yeah, with Rodney King and all that.
Yeah. Yes, I remember that because, yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, it was told from a Korea perspective because they're like, sometimes people forget, Koreans, so they did a film. It was a student film, really good. But he said this, he goes, we're like 30 years later and we basically haven't learned anything when it came to abuse, right? Because that's really what it started with. He says, in 2020, we had that situation where the cops, and then he mentioned Floyd and, I think he wanted to mention a few others, but we didn't have that much time. And it was, what have we learned, right? Back to war. What have we learned when it comes with war, and especially when we deal with like bomb, missile, people like pushing, so like they're pushing. How do I say this? It's like we're on the brink of war. Does that make sense? And this is all the beginning of it, and this part in history will be forever a thing when people say, okay, what were the 20s about? Well, the 20s were about the pandemic. The 20s were about financial problems. I just saw a report yesterday about not just global recession, but also global inflation. How do you have both at the same time, right? And then you have, blasts, you have bombs, you have all kinds of things. So, of course, Russia, a lot of people, I talked to somebody who had a Russian film, by the way, really nice film, by the way. She did this before the whole war thing. And so it's also showing at the La Femme Film Fest. But she, I think, is here now. But she filmed it in Russia, and she's Russian, right? So I think she has dual citizenship or something like that. And she's like, you could tell that she didn't want to talk about, the situation, as most Russians don't. But then when you got Russians fleeing to, as you reported, Jess, on, I think it was Friday, about Russians going to Alaska, even that's a problem because then you have people that might disguise themselves, as, oh, I'm fleeing, but then that's where like Russia takes advantage of the U.S., right? Because that's U.S. soil. So I think there's a lot of questions that are going to happen in the next few weeks, and it's going to be an interesting fall, winter. Russia, Ukraine, they're all going to go into that winter stage because it's a big winter, obviously. So they're kind of getting prepared for that, but I don't think they're ready for what's going to happen in the field. So I get the whole summer invasion that they did, and now like all this like I guess the point that I'm trying to make is this: I hope they don't go nuclear because no one can survive that, right? And it just takes one. We got the U.S. has like 6+ nuclear weapons ready to go. Some of them stationed in areas where people don't even understand underground. They showed some video of them just being like, you could have one in a submarine, you could have one in a caravan of like a train, and then it like point upwards and it like whoop, there you go, right? So there are so many ways. I'm like, all right, we live in a movie, and that was alluded to on the film fest. Somebody says it seems like everything that like. I think people don't understand. From 2000 to 2020, we were only talking about these things. Oh, climate crisis. That's right. We had a good interview with someone, which actually did a great thanks. I think Avon or one of those. I can't remember. Kind of commissioned the film to be made on this woman in Mexico who fights for like the area to kind of rebound. Because there's so many things. Oh, and then there's like another volcano in Italy that just went off. So it's almost like the world is like going, and us with it, like what next? So I think if anybody were to, Nostradamus, I have yet to see some of his predictions, but some of the end days and last days and all these things are kind of culminating. You're going, what next? Are we going to see like things of the supernatural? You know what I mean? So I guess enjoy the days you have and then kind of scratch your head and go, that's weird. And then UFOs, that's a thing now because the Pentagon admitted that that's a thing. So I go, okay, can they save us from this? Can they do a little like, I don't know, hey guys, stop that, thing that you're doing because, we have a planet over here. We did that ourselves. I can see other like planets having done that to, I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, why are you here? Are you here to... People go, are you here to invade? I don't think they're here to invade. I think they would have already invaded. Unless they're already here and they're disguising themselves as human, right? What if we were human, like, on another planet? Kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, would that be a thing? Is that a thing? I don't know. But anyway.
What do you mean? Honestly, if aliens came down or, like, some type of monster came out from the Mariana Trench, it would make so much sense. Oh, my God. It would just make things more sense. It's just like,
like what reality did we enter, right? So anyway, around the corner, Black Adam is out. That's gonna be a good film. And then I see this Ryan Reynolds is in the news, and I'm like, okay, I like Ryan Reynolds, by the way, but I don't understand this situation with one of the guys, his co-star, and his co-star says something, and I'm like, okay, do you not get along with him? What's going on? And I like this guy, T.J. Miller. I think he's real funny. I don't know the situation there, but I'm like, guys, can you just get along? Because Deadpool needs to happen, and, like, let's bring everything together. And then I saw this. A streamer, you know what Twitch is, Jess?
I do know what Twitch is. Yeah,
so a streamer evidently went to this event, and her name, Adriana Chechik. It says she broke her back, man. And I'm just like, she didn't even jump that high. I don't know if people are like doing the obvious and going, okay, because have you ever like hit your bed or like hit like something where you thought it was going to be bouncy and it's not? I have. Like when you're in a hotel and all of a sudden you plop down on it, it's like firm, like you hit the board versus like the padding. I think that's what happened here, Jess. Not gonna lie.
It looks like it. I saw the video. Yes, it looks like a gladiator pit, and it doesn't look like it was deep enough.
Yeah. So
there was not a foam.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie. I feel bad for her. Here she is, and you could see her in this one, just kind of accepting a nice award here, I guess, from another time. But her name, Adriana Chechik, as part of the festivities at TwitchCon, which started Friday and runs till Sunday evening, there's a foam pit. Streamers have been jumping into after doing battle on some elevated platforms, gladiator style. Some of them have reportedly been getting seriously hurt. It reminds me of that slide, Jess. You know what I mean?
Oh, right. Oh, that, yeah. What was funny was when you mentioned this story to me, you're like, Adrian Checha. I'm like, yeah, I know who that is. I was like, I heard her name before, and then you told me what she was. I'm like, oh, never mind. I don't know who she is. Whoop.
Yeah, she's a streamer. That's all I'm going to say, Jess. So my point is this: she suffered the most alarming injury according to this, which you can see in the video, and you'll see it online, probably on Instagram, especially and on Twitch, maybe even Twitter, in which she leaps off a small platform, splits her legs, lands on her tailbone, before rolling over and saying, "I can't get up." Oh my God! They probably thought she was joking, Jess. That's horrible. Shortly afterwards, you could hear an announcer say, "No, no, she's fine." She was not fine. She tweeted this. So I'm going to follow her on Twitter. Well, I broke my back in 2 places, and I'm getting surgery to put a meter rod in for support today. I guarantee she's going to sue the daylights of that place. There's no safety there. It probably isn't deep enough, or I just don't get it. So send your support. When it rains, it pours, and I'm definitely feeling the rain right now. Oh no. She's a special shout out to the random off-work EMT who got the workers at the booth to realize how bad I was injured and to make them keep me still and calm me down until others got there. You really kept me from crying badly. Oh, okay, I guarantee that. What were you gonna say, Jess, about that? Because that EMT I know is like, I'm gonna be a happy camper.
No, no, I just feel bad for her. Oh my God, I can't even imagine like jumping in a pit because you're assuming it's all gonna be soft, kind of like my dreams when I realized that I can't swim through gold coins. So yeah,
Gold coins.
yeah, like Scrooge McDuck, he swam through the coins. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And then someone's like, you can't swim through coins. I'm like, what?
I think that EMT should follow it because she's very attractive. You know what I mean? I think he's gonna like, hey, you know what? Right.
Pretty.
She probably thought he was attractive, so I think, Anyway, so that's the story. And look, be careful when you jump, and look, it's not her fault for having done this. Oh my God! And then somebody else tweeted this out. This is somebody else. Somebody dislocated their knee in this thing.
Yeah, I read that one too. I'm like, oh my God, people are just getting hurt. I hope they. Like, oh my God, I hope the TwitchCon people like made them fill out like a.
They better have insurance, Jess. That's called injury 101, and I guarantee people are like, oh, this isn't good, Jess. Yeah, someone tweeted at SW33TSTTV. Oh wow, she dislocated her knee. She looks like she's in good spirits. She also jumped into the pit. This is another girl, completely different, right? And this one, Jess, they need an attorney. Maybe we should offer to be the attorney with these people, because, or connect them with the people that do. You know what I mean? What do you think?
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can get some money out of this.
This is another girl, not the same girl, by the way. So they're all tweeting it. I guarantee, Jess. There's a situation gonna happen, and Twitch is gonna say, we quit, because they're all gonna sue Jess. Oh, there's another one. Oh my God, here's another picture. Oh, Twitch is gonna be for sale very soon, Jess. They're gonna need to recoup. There's no way they're gonna try to like, well, maybe they'll pay it. I don't know. Here's another one. Oh, this is bad, Jess. This is bad. People aren't doing the math, Jess.
No, the more you look into it, the worse it's going to be. Because, oh my God, whoever was in charge of this pit for the foam, yeah, no, they failed so hard.
There's another one. Yeah, and these are streamers that make a lot of money, by the way. Where was that held, Jess? Because
You know what? I've never even heard of TwitchCon, and it's held in San Diego, so we were close.
I feel bad for them. I'm not going to lie. It says, attendees say the pit had remained open despite others being hurt before the serious injury of Chechik. Oh, she didn't even have to get hurt, Jess. Oh, this is bad. I guarantee it. This is not good. This is not good for anyone. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Yikes!
Here's to your health with Joshua Lane. Ideas you can use to be healthy and stay healthy. The current thinking about beauty, fitness, and longevity. Every Tuesday and Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Wellness talk you can use. Here's to your health with Joshua Lane on KMET, naturally.
Don't let insurance companies make decisions for you. Go to Pass Auto Center in Banning, your one-stop repair facility with full collision repair, auto maintenance, service, and an authorized smog center. You'll also find a full-service used car lot to fit every budget with the right vehicle for you. Trade-ins are accepted and they pay cash for your car. Pass Auto Center at 2609 West Ramsey in Banning, just off the I-10 freeway between Sunset and 22nd. Call 951-849-7878.
Mattress Brothers Overstock Mattress Sale. Just $3.99 for a foam encased queen pillow top set. $3.99. Check out Mattress Brothers $3.99 Overstock Sale. Mattress Brothers at 120 West Redlands Boulevard in Redlands. The $3.99 Overstock Sale is on now. $3.99 for a foam encased queen pillow top set. Mattress Brothers also has locations in Hammett, Riverside, and Palm Desert. The $3.99 queen pillow top sale on now.
You're running out of letterhead. What do? Lithopass Printing. You need business cards. Now what? Lithopass Printing. Invitations to a wedding? Lithopass Printing and Banning is the answer. Lithopass Printing can provide banners, signs, and blueprints. Think of Lithopass Printing and Banning for quality graduation, birthday party, and baby shower invitations. Lithopass Printing also provides lamination, faxing, and photo prints. If you need it inked, make it Lithopass Printing. Lithopass Printing and Banning.
Take KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
New teen driver in the family? Just bought your first home? Have a new bundle of joy? Every life change matters, and by reviewing your insurance policy with Little & Sons Insurance Services, you could be benefiting with big savings. Little & Sons Insurance Services, a family-owned insurance agency who values the old-fashioned way of doing business. They work for you, not an insurance company, meaning your best interests are at heart. They can custom tailor your policy based on specific needs at a price you can afford. Home, auto, or business, you're covered. Call 1-844-9-LITTLE. That's 1-844-9-LITTLE, or go online to little, the letter N, sons.com. That's littlensons.com.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show. We checked out some of the information here, and I think, Jess, you and I are both right on this. If you've ever jumped into one of these things, they're supposed to be, like, deep. And I think the statement is important to kind of say, and I like that Mark actually did that as a hashtag TwitchCon 2022 class action lawsuit. Oh, guaranteed, because attendees say the potential cause is the shallowness of the pit. They describe it as being only, they say, like 3 cubes deep. I would say only 1 cube deep, because if you look at the footage, she hits real fast. She doesn't go deep down in, right? Which is really, like, you think of like the days, remember those bouncing balls, like those little, like, and you would jump in them and you'd be fine. Remember that? Like, I forget what they say that they're a petri dish of, like, when there's kids like jumping in there, like, of stuff. But the foam, you're supposed to go in it, right? And I think someone either A, was lazy, or B, I don't know what happened, but somebody's going to get sued, Jess.
Right, they should, because it looks like when she's walking through the ball pit, it's barely, or no, not ball pit, but the little cube thing, it looks like it barely goes up to her knee. So for all I know, the bulb or these cube things are supposed to be at least what 2 feet deep or more.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is it says here the pit itself goes up a little past my knee. That's what you said, and then that's a short lay, right? Yeah, it says that, and that's shallow. Well, I can't say that. She uses a term. Yeah, I can't say that because we'll get dinged. Anyway, they said it's pretty clearly visible in the video above. Foam pit is supposed to swallow you up. Yeah, you're supposed to go deep down in, right? But these guys bounce back pretty hard and quickly after. They don't even bounce. There's a boom. They said we contacted Twitch for comment on the situation. We'll update if we hear back. Yeah, they're not gonna be. I don't think there's gonna be another. Well, there might be. I don't know. But when you break your back in 2 different places and you have to go get surgery, Jess, who do you think is gonna pay for that at the end of the day? You know?
Right, you Twitch stars. I don't know, but yeah. Oh my God, I just feel so bad for them. Like at first, I was like, "Oh, that's pretty funny" when they fell, but when I found out like she broke her back and all this other stuff, I was like, "Eesh!" I did not realize it was that bad of a thing, but you never know. I mean, that sucks.
And this is her livelihood. So, like, she could
Of
claim
course.
a lot because there's a lot of things she's not going to be able to do now because she have a broken back. I think, and I know she made a lot of money, Jess, but I think it's going to affect her, like, a long time. And this is one of those things you're like, why did I even go? Why did I even, like, do that? Why did I, and then the fact that they didn't have any sympathy, like, no, she's fine. That's like, who knew something, you know what I mean? They should have stopped it, in the moment, or tested it, I think. But yeah, it says Adriana Chechik, which is a streamer, says she broke her back in 2 places after jumping in a foam pit in San Diego. Yeah, you're right, at TwitchCon, which ran over the weekend. So yeah, it was just this week. Early Sunday morning, she wrote on Twitter that she's getting surgery to insert a rod into her. Yeah, that's not good. That means she went right to the medical. And then they should just close it down. It says the foam pit was part of an interactive booth by Lenovo. Okay, that makes sense. And Intel. Oh man, where people could try. There's a lot of money there. Get it while you can. Could try to knock each other off a raised platform using foam noodles per a tweet from the official Lenovo Legion account. Oh man, the foam pit was about 1 foot deep, filled with large square shaped foam cubes, according to NBC. That's the problem. Yeah, only one. Yeah, I don't know what the official is. Participants were asked to sign waivers before entering the pit.
That's exactly what I said. They signed some type of paper that said they're not responsible if you get injured while doing this.
Well, I wonder. There's still a safety protocol. Well, if they signed it, yeah, they're kind of like, well, I guess, they're good to go. I feel bad for you, Lee. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to hook you up with probably one of my attorneys and hope that, he goes to... But I think Jess... Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. It's a thing, Jess. So, Adriana, I feel bad for you. Not going to lie. All right. And other news, Jess, what's going on?
Oh my God. Okay, so I think I told you about this last week. So we're going to go to Disney Plus, okay?
Okay.
Have you seen Werewolf by Night yet?
Ooh, not gonna lie, I have not.
Have you seen the previews for it?
Not gonna lie, I have not.
Yeah, most people have not. So Werewolf by Night is a Disney special presentation from the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay.
It follows a group of hunters who come together to do like a contest to win something called the Bloodstone.
Okay.
So it's filmed in black and white, and it feels like one of those old school like Boris Karloff like monster movies.
Okay.
So it was fabulous. I fell in love with it. So I know you have Disney Plus, so if you get a chance, you got to watch it.
I do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be happy with this too. By the way, because it's a Marvel thing. Now, okay. So, question: where is he in the Marvel universe? Because it almost looks like a Star Wars type poster. You know what I mean? It looks good. Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night. Yeah, where does that place in? You know what? It doesn't really have a place in the cinematic universe. That's why I guess it's a special presentation.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you can put it anywhere because it doesn't really have a time period listed within the show.
Okay. Okay.
So, but I thought it was a great, just like a throwback to like those old school monster movies.
Oh, actually, it is a Marvel character. Yeah, it's an issue. It came out in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they're going. Although Marvel has a lot of things that you always go, huh? Oh yeah, definitely. It says Night of the Creeps. Jake's attempt to get to the bottom of his company's questionable practices leads to an all-out monster brawl. As Werewolf by Night gets in over his head, Red Wolf and the Law are getting closer with Jake's entire life in chaos. The only way out may be to fully embrace the secret history of the Werewolf by Night. So yeah, it's a Marvel comic. So evidently it's in the Marvel verse. And oh, and you know what? It's part of the Moon Knight series, Jess.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like right now, this is just a special presentation, but like maybe a few years down the line, maybe the Werewolf by Night will run into Blade. Who knows?
Oh, you know what? I forgot about this, Jess. Yeah, you're actually right. I could see that. Although he's a good guy, right? But I forgot about this. I don't know why, but like, they're bringing back all the like horror guys. Let me bring up this poster. I think this one's kind of telling. It reminds me of, and I don't think he's that guy because I think that's DC. I think they kind of copied each other. But I think it's good for everyone because these are the characters, right? Werewolf by Night, and so this he reminds me of the Swamp Thing. Not gonna lie, I don't know what his name is.
Oh, okay. Yes, I didn't want to mention him too. So the green thing that you see, his name is Man Thing.
That's the one. That's the one.
Yes.
Like a bunch of seaweed on the guy, right?
Yes, he has kind of like a similar backstory to Swamp Thing, where this guy, yeah, there he is, Man Thing. He was working on a super soldier serum, and some bad stuff happened, and he ends up turning into that thing. So you know what? If they bring like a whole like monster movies with these things,
I think
oh my
they
god,
are.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we don't know what they're planning, but they're just putting like little seeds out.
Well, and they're doing
And
it in time for October, right? So I think that's the thing. But it's part of the Moon Knight series, kind of like. Well, you know what? And I forget about this. I forget how back far Marvel goes. You know, because you think DC, and you think okay, but they had like stories. Let me bring this up because this is kind of a nod to I think where they're kind of going. I think we're seeing something which is kind of like a universe all coming together. There it is, like an old 20-cent comic. Werewolf by Night goes way back, Jess. But it's like one of those things that you go, oh, that's cheesy, right? But in a way, I think it's kind of cool because it's like, you know, they took things that were like you know, in story form, and then they made a comic out of it, and then they kind of put them all in the same verse of like Spider and you know all the other you know Avenger and all that. So I think it'd be cool like for an upcoming movie to kind of feature all this. You know what I mean?
Honestly, it really would because I love just the way that Marvel's bringing out like these small characters and doing such amazing things with them.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of them. You know.
There really are, and there's tons that we don't know about that. You know what? They're making stories of, and it's just you know it's absolutely amazing. We know we don't have to keep getting Spider-Man, Batman, Superman stories.
Doesn't
You
hurt,
know, we
man.
get
It doesn't hurt. I'm just saying you need
it doesn't.
you need collaboration of these, man.
Exactly. It's a big world. It's a giant comic book world, so there's so many stories to do.
Well, again, he's not the only werewolf. Oh, you know what? I like this one. Oh, this is interesting. Oh yeah, we forget about Ghost Rider, right? So this is part of that like I wonder if they're gonna bring back Ghost Rider because I think they're kind of setting the stage for that. I know they were supposed to, right?
Yeah, there was there's in talks. I mean, there was what was it? Somebody was interviewing Keanu Reeves, and they were asking him who he would like to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so he was just like, I would like to be Ghost Rider. So you know what? Maybe they're gonna make it for him. I don't know.
Do you see the new John Wick 4 trailer? By the way, looks good.
I have not seen it. Oh my god, I need to watch it.
But
I can't wait for it. I love John Wick. But yeah, see, look,
there's Blade right there in that pick right there. You see him in the
Blade, Ghost Rider, Morbius, and these are all characters for the Midnight Suns where they deal with the supernatural aspect of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I love.
I think it's going to be fun. I think Moon Knight is kind of bringing that all together. And I think, you know, kids everywhere are going to be like, who are these guys? You know, and I think it's a new generation of fun. Like, you know, if you have a niece or nephew, if you're not, you know, a parent, or even if you are a parent, it's like the time to start introducing, you know, comic to the kids. And it's a good way for them to kind of like, you know, ooh, here's a good pick. Remember, I have to show this. Do you remember, and they already gave a nod in Logan of the little, I think her name is X-23, Jess, do you remember that?
Yes, X-23, the female clone of Logan. Loved it.
Yeah. Here it is right here of that guy that you just talked about, right? So, I don't know. Some mashups coming up soon. I think it's going to be great for the kids. You know, I remember us as kids, we were like, wouldn't it be cool if, and they didn't have like special effects. They didn't have the cool characters. I think casting's really good with Marvel. I think DC's around the corner. I can't wait to see Black Adam. I want to see what they do with that. And I wonder, because go ahead. What do you know?
Oh, okay. I don't know if you want, like, there's a secret rumor about Black Adam. I don't know if you want to hear it or do you want to be surprised about it?
If it has to do with super, then I want to know.
So, yeah, it does. Apparently, there's some rumors that Henry Cavill might come back as Superman.
I saw some things bouncing around, and I said, are they going to give a nod at the end towards that? And I say, good job, because I didn't think he should have stepped away to begin with. All right, well, then I'm excited for it. All right, anyway, we're going to take a huge break right now. We'll be back with more right after these messages. You know, in the world of war, you need some fun, okay? So, we're the Superman. We need that. We'll be right back.
Football season is back, and every Monday night, the Two Coot Lounge at the Yamava Resort and Casino in San Manuel is where you need to be. Come cheer on your favorite team and become a Club Serrano member for your chance to win incredible prizes, enjoy food and drink specials, and be entertained by the 66ers dance team. It's the Monday Night Pigskin Party at the Two Coot Lounge at the brand new Yamava Resort and Casino in San Manuel in Highland, California. Rep your team, and we'll see you there this Monday.
The Fat Greek in Yucaipa, where you can get authentic, delicious, true Greek food. Authentic gyros, Greek salads, pitas, falafel, hamburgers, burritos, and oh yes, baklava. The Fat Greek has a large selection of wines, ice-cold domestic, and imported Greek beers. Come on down to the Fat Greek located on Yucaipa Boulevard in the city of Yucaipa. Open 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. The Fat Greek has delivery, drive-through, sit-down, and a catering service. So bring in a family or give Nicholas and Christopher a call at 909-797-6018. Eat Greek, live long. Remember, if you want authentic Greek food, it's the Fat Greek in Yucaipa.
For all you truck and RV enthusiasts, Truckworks right here in Banning is your one-stop shop for the best diesel performance and overall truck and RV needs. Whether you're towing, racing, off-road, or just cruising around town, Truckworks specializes in truck and RV service, maintenance, repair, and performance upgrades for every light and medium-duty truck manufacturer. Bring it down to Terry and the guys at Truckworks. Call 951-922-4776 or visit their website at mydieseldown.com today.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com, licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Join Yvette Walker every Tuesday at 4 o'clock p.m. on KMET ABC News Radio, 1490 AM, FM 98.1, and Internet KMET TV for the Southern California Business Report. The show is dedicated to highlighting successful businesses and the individuals behind them. Yvette interviews the incredible people managing these enterprises that range from awe-inspiring sole proprietors to world-renowned organizations. The Southern California Business Report, Tuesdays at 4 o'clock p.m.
The Holiday Inn Express in Suites and Banning is distinctively suited for your travel time out of the car. Off the road, you'll find a courteous, welcoming staff and spacious rooms with desks, flat-screen HD TVs, and comfortable furnishings. Enjoy the complimentary breakfast buffet, high-speed internet, and fitness center and pool. The Holiday Inn Express in Suites and Banning, conveniently located off the I-10 near golf, gaming, and entertainment. For reservations and information, call 951-572-5500. That's 951-572-5500, or go online at hiebanning.com.
Hey, Mark's here. We want people should know about the new Italian radio show on KMET. Like my Uncle Vinny used to say, Gumbas non stonad.
Esta there is no such words in Italian.
Forget about it. Tell them about the show.
The Italian radio show presented by West Coast Italian Radio.
Mondays at 4 p.m. on KMET 1490 or stream us live 24/7 from our website at WCIR.biz.
Make sure to tune in.
You don't want that we should have to tell you twice.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. Just not going to lie, I'm looking at this. I'm going, okay, look, anyone that knows Call of Duty, which, by the way, man, people are going to want to play a lot more game like this. Nicki Minaj, evidently in the news on this, she secured a endorsement deal with Call of Duty, taking advantage of the opportunity that evidently Cardi B failed to snag. The video game, which is really popular, revealed Minaj in its latest ad, which featured several other celebrities. Minaj's endorsement deal comes after Cardi B recently revealed that she failed to get a deal with the video company because of her past mistakes. Cardi tweeted on September 27th, she said, "My stupid decisions from the past caused me to miss out on money now." That's so funny how she calls it. But I'm like, that's not the way you go with it. That's number one. It says, "I had a multi-million-dollar Call of Duty deal on the table that I couldn't take because of court. Guys, think twice about those quick decisions. Lesson learned." Okay, you know what? Good job, Cardi, for tweeting that out. You know what? At least she's like, don't make a dumb decision for life, because it's a lot of money, Jess. Yeah.
No, I can only bet Call of Duty is major money, which is actually, you know what? Call of Duty made, not Call of Duty, but streamers in general, they actually, some female streamer was caught cheating. Did you hear about that?
No.
Yeah, she was, yes, apparently she was using like wall hacks or something like that, which is why I don't like playing on PC, because you got those cheaters over there.
Yeah. Well, this is one. Okay, so you know our Maria Rubio, right? Which is always, you know, able to have some fun with us when it comes to entertainment. We mentioned this a while back. I want to say like about a month ago, and this was because when she says her stupid decision from the past, this is what she means. She was referring to the felony and misdemeanor charges she faced following a brawl at a New York strip club in 2018. All right. So let's add some perspective here. This is the 29-year-old Grammy Award winner avoided some serious jail time when she pled guilty to third-degree assault and second-degree reckless endangerment. Cardi agreed to serve 15 days of community service. It says Kenny's business opportunities took a hit due to her court case. Now it's Minaj who's embracing the chance to promote Activision's Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which is expected to be released this month, October 28th. Minaj appears with a handful of celebrities in Call of Duty's Squad Up ad, including rapper Lil Baby, comedian Pete Davidson, and country singer Kane Brown. The celebrities featured in the ad call their squad to prepare for battle. Okay, so, and I asked the question, and I said, well, what do you think this means, right? And the one we're talking about is on the right, by the way. I know they look similar, but Cardi B is on the right. Nicki Minaj is on the left, right? Cardi B kind of got off real easy on the situation, which happened in 2018, and it was court, right? It was a felony and misdemeanor charges, right, on a brawl. She basically went at it with someone, and they kind of took her to court, right? Well, since she had to deal with that, she missed out on this, and now she's going, are you kidding me? So that's why she said, my stupid decisions for the past caused me to miss out on money now. See, don't do dumb things, right? Don't get drunk And you know what I mean, Jess?
Okay, so first off, I know the name Nicki Minaj, and I don't know who Cardi B is. Although I've heard the name, I really don't know who these people are. I don't know their music and stuff like that because I don't listen to that.
Right.
The other thing is, so she got in a fight with a stripper. That's the only thing I can think of right now. I'm just trying to picture it.
Something happened. Somebody drank a little much, right?
It's not in my mind. Yes.
They got a little like. Sometimes we see these things on video, like on you go to what is that TikTok, right? And you see some of these videos, you go, what are they doing, right? They're pulling the hair, they get, over a guy, or over like a misunderstanding, or someone said something like, tip me, and I forgot to tip, whatever. So this happened. So she's saying to all the people out there, which I'm glad because a lot of people follow her. It's called Think Before You Do Something Dumb, okay? And we tell people that all the time. So I think she's learning a lesson that she should behave and that she should be good to go because, you never know. It's like the slap, right? Like when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, right? I don't think he knew the repercussions of what would happen eventually. I think he has a movie out, somebody said. But, are people going to watch it? Are they going to have like a thought about him? Did he do the right thing? A lot of people are saying, not really. You don't get up and that's assault. You know what I mean? So there are things that you got to deal with. You got to think before you act. Okay, people are just acting out of like, I'll give you an example. Like if you're driving and somebody gets you really upset, and there's people driving weird, right? How do you know they don't have a gun, right? I remember my dad. He used to say this to me when I was young. He goes, "How do you know they don't have a gun?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's true." So you got to be careful with that, right? So anyway, there's a lot of things, but anyway. All right, I know you're working on a story there, Jess. What's going on?
Oh my God. Yeah, everything is just going crazy right now. But I would like to say happy Indigenous Day. I will not say Columbus Day because, everyone's so mad at Columbus, but I can see why.
Isn't it funny in the past few years, when I was a kid, nobody was upset at Columbus. And then everybody like understood all of a sudden Indigenous and what happened. Then there was a movie about that where it was like, what? But he didn't bring the whole like, it was like the things later that brought it, you know what I mean? I don't think it's his fault. And I think, if anything, we should go back to the obvious. It's Americas that actually discovered America, right? It wasn't Columbus kind of made it popularized eventually with, but, he was suffering too because he was lost in the water basically, right? For a lot of days. And then all of a sudden they go land and then they're like grateful and all that. So I get that. But I also understand some people make it a white thing, right? And people are like, no, like, we were here first. And I get that. Trust me. So, I just don't know how you make sense of it when people are getting ready for dinner with turkey anyway, even though they say, we don't celebrate, but they still have turkey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that part. But, like, if you were to, like, look at Christopher Columbus's, like, actual history instead of the watered-down version that we were taught in school, oh my God, all the history that I learned in school is just like, what the heck? It was just like a Disney version of it.
So what did you learn about him that you don't like?
Well, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I would have to bring it up because I was researching some other stuff. But it was just the fact that, they came here thinking they could do whatever they want. But it was funny because someone said that you can't discover something that's already been discovered by humans. So pretty much they just made the Americas well known, right?
Well, it's a little more complicated than that. I think people forget why he set sail and what he was wanting to discover and what he was creating. It was a kind of a trade route that would eventually form. But in the meantime, I don't think the ones that were already here way before us, right? What year was that? 1492. Christopher Columbus set sail for the ocean blue. It was then that I think. Look, how do I say it? I think that person is right when they say people were here already, right? People like, and I think that's interesting because people almost have like an entitled way of being when they say, go back to the country you came from. I'm like, do you know where your ancestors came from originally? You know what I mean? Like if you go far back enough, and we only count like, it seems like 100 years, right? Versus, what is that? That's over 1492. So that's the early 1500s. So 16, 17, 18, 19. So about 500, almost, 500 years. And it wasn't right at the beginning because they had like settlers. But then later they're like, we want to be away. That's where Revere comes. You know, like we don't want to be taxed by, you know, Britain. We don't, you know what I mean? So they wanted their independence because in a way he did it for, you know, the Spaniards, for Spain and others. But it was, you know, what happened as a result of, you know, yes, of course, disease happened, but that happened accidentally. It's not like he brought it and he goes, okay, I want to get you guys all killed. But I think it's interesting when you go, okay, back to the world, like, you're right, like, there's areas of territory where, like, in Amazon, they still have yet to discover things because they haven't, like, explored, but he was an explorer. So I think he gets a bad rap as something that I think if he were alive today, he would say, but that's not what I meant to do. What I meant to do was, you know, and some said, like, you know, he believed that the world was round when people were thinking the earth was flat. You know what I mean? So he did kind of like discover some things. I get what you're saying though. There are a lot of things that are not, like, they're kept out, kind of like in movie form when you go, okay, that's the good side of it. What's the bad side of it? But at the end of the day, he lost a lot of people on that ship that they were on, and I know there were several. But you know, they had to go and come back, go and come back, go and come back. I think at the end of the day, he meant for good. But then, as every invading people, like, oh, we could get land out of that. You know, they want to kind of like, you know, get money from that and make, you know, like, at the end of the day, the indigenous or the natives or the, you know, even though they weren't really called Indians because, you know, back to India, he thought he, like, you know what I mean? That was the only map that they had back then, which some say no, because they looked at some, like, I saw like a history thing where it said this map actually includes that area, and then other maps don't include the area. So they thought the whole world was, you know, that other continent, right? Along with Africa. But they didn't know there was this whole, like, portion of the globe because the water was, you know, he's, I don't know, how many days did he stay in the water for?
Ooh, you know what? I have no idea. See, I think it was, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough. I would have to like study, but I do know like whether or not did he take slaves? Because if that's the case, then boom, everything he did was wrong.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Well, Britain already had slaves back to Africa. Slaves go back way to the days of Egypt. You know what I mean? Like when Moses said, "Let my people go."
Stop spitting facts, okay?
Stop saying stuff that actually makes sense. Anyway, look, I'm not for it. I don't celebrate the holiday, to be honest. I never have. But I'm just saying it's interesting how everything went, like, all of a sudden, like, we hate it. And I'm like, well, I like what it symbolizes, which is the thankful part. So if you at least hold on to that coming up, because November's coming up around the corner. All right, people, make...
Thanksgiving?
Huh?
You talk about like Thanksgiving. Yeah, I don't go for like the history behind it. I just go for the fact that, you know what, we're trying to bring family together.
Yeah, I like that part. I'm not going to lie. I like that. And I hate it when I have to do it alone. Anyway, all right, people, make it a great day. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Bye-bye, everyone.